No, here's the thing. I can list off the states that actually have legislation passed that'll actually let us keep permanent daylight savings, so we get the app, so we don't have to go back forward
You got
for the year
this is
after. I
so
I
crazy.
double checked. Apparently, it's true. I have the
Oh
list.
my gosh.
Would you like to know the list?
Yes, let's hear this list. I am more baffled that
I'm
we
going.
can go about fucking over daylight savings time and basically finally saying no to daylight savings time, but we're still having issues dealing with fucking racism and shit
Racism.
here in the States. What the
Let
fuck?
Okay. Let me start.
Oh
Maine.
my gosh.
Maine's fine. Anything from New Hampshire, Vermont, New York, Massachusetts, Connecticut, Rhode Island, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, West Virginia, Virginia regular, Maryland, and North
West
Carolina, South Carolina,
Virginia, Mountain
Delaware.
Mama.
Delaware passed it.
Oh
Ohio
my
passed it. Kentucky
gosh.
passed it. Tennessee passed it. Alabama, Mississippi, Georgia, South Carolina,
Alabama passed it. Oh my gosh.
South Carolina. I forgot. I misjudged. They also passed it.
Oh my
Louisiana and
sweet
Florida
Jesus.
passed it, so we don't have to go forward next year.
You gotta be
Then,
fucking kidding me. And we're
then
still having issues with human rights and shit here in the fucking. But we can fuck. Oh my gosh, this is so. Oh.
Hawaii and Arizona are permanent standards, so they're not changing. Colorado, Utah, Wyoming, Idaho, Oregon, Washington, Montana, and Minnesota also passed it.
Okay, so.
Missouri and Arkansas are you're still on the same shit.
Okay, so hear me out on this. We have been dealing with racism and shit for decades. Almost, it's ridiculous on how long. All right, here in the States, ever since we were like, yo, we're gonna be doing no more slavery, all that fun shit, whatever. We're still dealing with the repercussions of that, and we're still dealing with all this bullshit. But, and how long did they put this on, or propose this? And it is passing this fast?
4-ish years.
Oh my gosh.
I can hear the disappointment.
Oh,
It's very much
I'm so disappointed. I'm very disappointed.
I'm sorry for laughing. It's a little. To me, it's a little funny, but at the same time,
it's
yeah,
absolutely fucking hilarious. But also at the same time, I am very disappointed. And also, I mean, I am still under the assumption that Pluto is still a planet.
I thought it was reinstated like 2 years ago.
Was it reinstated? If it was reinstated, I'm going to be fucking pissed that they made me think that Pluto's not a planet for this long. And I fought the good fight.
No, it's a dwarf planet. It's still considered dwarf. Never mind.
Why? It's a fucking planet. Let it be a planet. It has orbited the sun this long. Let it fucking be a planet. We could see it. We all could see it. We stated whenever we were younger that this was a fucking planet. Just let it be a planet. How hard is it? How fucking... What?
Pluto's not a planet!
Fuck you! Pluto's a planet! Pluto is a fucking planet. Don't you come in here and terrorize me with your Pluto's not a planet shit. Because it's not. It is straight up a planet. I know I said it's not. I was going to say it's not true that Pluto is a planet. And I can't.
Is there a butt? Is there a butt in here somewhere?
I am an art. All I am is a fucking artist. So I have honestly no scientific say whenever it comes to if it is. I'm not an astrologist or anything like that. So I have no say if Pluto is considered or deemed a planet or not. I state, for my own opinion, that it should be. Professor Lamio Rufioso! Why?
It is a dwarf planet. Again, it's categorized as one. There's most people arguments for it is always going to be fucky. It'll
Well,
never
at
not
least it
be.
still has planet in the name. I guess I can accept that part,
It's something.
but it's like going up to a person and being like, "You're not a person. You're a dwarf person," and that just makes you feel like shit. Actually, technically speaking, my mom can be classified as a legal dwarf.
But she is not a planet. She is just a dwarf.
Yes, but she's still a human.
Fair enough.
A dwarf human. Well, actually, technically speaking, because she is 4'11" and not 4'10", because technically speaking, 4'10" was the limit for becoming a dwarf. Or a legal dwarf, I think that's what it was. I can't remember off the top of my head. I knew the legalities back in the day, whenever I actually cared. Now that, well, I'm 5'6" and I'm nowhere near that mark, so I care a little bit less. Because I'm not going around measuring fucking people and being like, hey, sorry, we're going to have to change your classification. Oh my gosh. What's up? Oh, the ghouls. I fucking love the ghouls. The ghouls are cool. I like the ghouls. The ghouls are cool. The ghouls can stay. Oh, man, I am. Oh, also, guess what, everybody? I'm going to be going to the doctor soon. Yeah. I get to go and get needles stabbed into me and figure out what's wrong with me. Whoa.
Allergies? Question mark?
Huh?
Allergies? Question mark?
No, definitely not allergies. This is more of a permanent thing. AKA my exhaustion. I gotta go and try to figure this out because, yes.
Did you get mom food?
No.
Okay.
I'm sorry. She has pizza in the fridge. I completely forgot about it.
There's pizza in the fridge, though. I mean, cold pizza is the best type of pizza for some.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, basically, I'm still struggling hardcore with my chronic fatigue and chronic exhaustion, whatever the fuck they want to call it nowadays, very badly. Basically, it's not as bad as it was prior, where I was out multiple days, but it has taken me probably about 4 days to clean a mouse cage, because every time I came home, I could not proceed to move anymore.
Oh, that makes more sense why you. That scans.
Yep.
That makes more sense. I was wondering what was going on because I felt something was more off because I usually tend to get something from you before you go to bed or whenever you're getting off. So I thought, did I fuck up here? I thought this was a me issue.
Nope. I just had.
No, it's just your body.
I actually slept for 15 hours. 15 fucking hours.
So it's not the rabbit's fault. It's just your body's fault.
Yeah, 110%.
Okay, good. I was concerned there.
No, you good. Golly. Basically, what happens is that my body will go from feeling absolutely normal to feeling as if I ran a full-fledged marathon with no breaks, and it just does that randomly. It does a full 180, and it's just like, you almost got us in the second half. I mean, you almost had us in the first half, man. You almost did. But then the second half happened, and then fuck you. And an immediate done. I can't move. And I'm like, this is great. This is fucking phenomenal. I love not being able to move. And now, if anybody knows me, they know that I have a really bad fear of needles. I hate needles. Needles are the fucking worst.
They really are. I'm one of those people where you just kind of have to, if you're able, just hug me or some shit so I can just be distracted. At least I won't look at it. The pain will suck, sure, but at least I'm distracted.
Oh, I almost stabbed a doctor once with a needle. Because they didn't tell me that they were going to give me a shot. And yeah.
So you actually have to prepare yourself more so for it. How minus the.
Well, I can never prepare myself enough. I will, if somebody needs my blood, I can grab a knife, stab myself in the hand, no problem, and drain it into a vat. I don't give two shits. Let's go. But whenever it comes to a hypodermic needle, no, I hate the feeling of it. Ugh. It's just horrible. But yeah, sleeping for 15 hours was an achievement. Honestly, I also, whenever I was younger, suffered with small term, like, not as massive as my dad did, but I had also insomnia, which helps me dramatically whenever it comes to doing art, because I can get so much shit done. It's phenomenal. But I haven't had insomnia, because now my body goes, hey, you need to sleep more. And I'm like, fuck off, I don't need to sleep. And then it's like, oh, looks like you're gonna fall asleep. Bye, Felicia. And I'm like, oh, geez, thanks. And the people giving the shot try to distract you while they're doing it. I'm like, oh, yeah. So, funny story. Whenever I had to go to college, I had to get a shot. I was fucking so tired and so pissed that I walked in there and they're like, okay, so you're here to get a shot? I was like, just fucking get it over. I looked her dead in the eye, and I guess you could see my soul leaving my body, and I was just a husk of a man staring into her eyes, and I was like, just stick me. And she looked at me, she's like, you good? And I was like, I hate needles more than you can think. The only way I can go to college right now is if you stab me in the fucking arm. Do it. So, I went to college and it was not worth it.
Jesus.
Huh?
How you said that, just making a deal with the devil.
Yeah. And basically, I will say that I went to college. Was it worth getting stuck in the arm for it? No. No, it was not. All the shit that I learned in college, I could have learned at home. And the thing is that at home, you can do whatever the crap you want. If you were bored, you just sit there and be like, oh, fuck it, I'm just going to go and take a nap. In college, it's just more along the lines of, oh, you're tired? No, you can't do jack diddly shit. You gotta keep on going. There's no end in sight. Sucks to suck, buttercup. Ugh.
You got work to do, it'll never end.
Yes. You can't do this to me, Krabs. I went to college! Trust me. Everybody's like, dude, you gotta go to college, man. If you want to be a member of society, make money and shit like that, you gotta go to college. I went 4 years in college. I work as a store manager at a comic book shop, making $15.50 an hour. And I work 30 hours a week. And when I get home, I draw titties to make ends meet. Tell me, did college help me? No.
You do get to draw what people want, though.
Oh, yeah,
I know you do enjoy it. It didn't help you, but at least you actually do something you enjoy.
Oh, and also, my teachers did not teach me jack shit whenever it came to what I do now. They did not teach me basically any color theory, which would have been fucking important as a college grad. I mean, it's not like color theory is one of the major fucking cornerstones of illustration. No, it's not. No, I'm not gonna just sit here and rant about how bullshit college is. I mean, I can continue if you all want me to continue. I mean, that's up to you. You all are having to listen to me or clicking off and not listening to me.
I mean, to be entirely honest, there's not much really going on. And really, you either are currently working on this piece right here, which, let me just double check this. No, it's cheap. You're working on this, or after this is done, then the fun stuff starts.
Mm-hmm. Oh, what was I
Because that
gonna
means
say?
I can't. Because half of that I can't commentate on because I don't know what it is.
Valid. Oh, also, fun story.
Mm-hmm.
Fun story. Have you all ever heard of Eric W. Schwartz?
I've heard the last name a decent amount over time. Yeah, what about it?
Okay, so Eric W. Schwartz is an illustrator who has been illustrating a web series since the 1996, roughly.
Okay.
Known as a furry artist.
This sounds like a Wikipedia article. I'm scared.
Yeah. Well, actually, I can probably find the Wikipedia article and read it verbatim. But I found their art via, number one, I found them on YouTube. And they do everything on a Amiga. If you don't know what an Amiga is, that is a computer. An old-ass computer. Thank you very much. They did everything on an Amiga. Animation, all that shit. On a fucking Amiga. Which is very impressive, I got to say. And whenever it comes down to... Where the fuck is that one book I'm looking for? Give me 1 second.
Take your time.
Did I not bring it home? I thought I brought it home. I put it here. I know I put it... Oh, there it is. Found it. Looking for references. And I have this right here, which is my reference book. Oh, Winter Draws things. Thank you so much for the follow. I will be sure to disappoint you as fast as I possibly can. Where the fuck did this book go? Okay, you know what? I don't... There's another book that I'm looking for, and it's basically sketches and drawings from Jim Lee, and I'm using those as references to help me whenever it comes to drawing characters now. Because I want to learn how to draw like Jim Lee, partially. And I love how Jim Lee draws. But what I was saying was, oh yeah, so this person, they don't have a ton of followers. They do not. Which I was very surprised about. I was expecting them to have a shit ton. Because the character, I'll actually pull the character up real fast. Because some of you might know this character. So this web series was called Sabrina Online. Which was basically about this skunk girl over here who is doing programming and shit. Which was actually a really fun series. And honestly, whenever it comes to how the art wasn't bad. It was really good. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I mean, it's no, like, I don't know, Michelangelo or Raphael, but it was still a really fun series, and I loved how they drew their characters. The characters really reminded me of how the Animaniacs drew their characters. Like the Minx or Mink, whatever her name is, and all that fun jazz. Which was really fun. I really enjoyed it. I did not realize it was an actual comic book series that you could fucking buy. Which was honestly super cool whenever I found out. I was like, oh dude, this is sick. So I went out and bought one. Because working at a comic book shop, you get to find things. You get to find out new things that you can find. And good God, there's some things that you really wish would stay in the backlogs of fucking the world. Just, it's horrible. You sit there and you're like, why on earth did this get published? Shit like that. It's really fun. But yeah. They still are making comics whenever it comes to Eric Schwartz or whatever his name is, which I did not know about. I thought that the whole entire series ended. I was under the assumption that it ended because I did not see anything at all going currently until I found their Patreon, and their Patreon's still going. And I was like, oh, their Patreon is going to be filled with schmut and all that fun jazz. No, it's actually filled with the actual webcomic, which was a breath of fresh air. I was really impressed. So, yeah, if you like anthropomorphic animals that are drawn in the same style as the Animaniacs used to be, by all means, go and find Eric Schwartz and give them a follow. I think that they are now like 50 years old or something like that and still making webcomics, which is very impressive.
I'm trying to find something because I wanted to bring it up, but I don't. Don't you hate it when you have something prepared to just like found it?
Oh, you found it?
I found what I was wanting to send over. I'm trying to get the link for it.
Valid.
There's a. I'll say the artist as well, but I'm gonna send the webcomic itself on its in the website source. I got really bored and found and just how the For You tab has been more random as of late
Oh, yeah.
with what it gives you. Sometimes it is giving me some bangers, and it gave me this person's art, which, looking at it and what they're trying to do, it's really good.
Ooh, I like
The
that.
webcomic's really good. I recommend it. It's 4 panels for each thing, but since the website just lets you keep scrolling, it's really good.
Oh, yeah. Now,
It's like 200. There's like 200 bits of it. It's really clean art.
you know what was one of my all-time favorite webcomic artists? Tyson Hesse. Who did
yes.
Boxer... what was it? Boxer Hockey or something like that? Which was a
I believe
lot of
so.
fun. And great art. Top-tier art. And would make joke comics about Sonic, which was hilarious. I loved it so much. So
And
the
then
deal is that my wife actually asked me the other day, hey, have you seen anything new from Tyson Hesse? Is he going to continue doing Diesel? And I looked her dead in the eye and I was like, honey, I keep tabs on it at all times, and he has not said a single word about coming back to Diesel, which is his own comic series, and it kills me every time. You're not that sneaky.
He might have. He might eventually. It's a good. I've seen some of it. It's good, but here's my thing.
Mm-hmm.
He's doing good with IDW.
Oh yeah,
The fact they're letting him actually write Sonic and it's good.
I don't know. Is he writing Sonic? I thought he illustrated Sonic.
I thought he was helping with writing because I know he was doing more after a lot of his stuff was well received.
Yeah, I know that. Whenever it came to when he worked on Archie, he helped with the IDW Sonic. Whenever it came to the illustrations, Ian Flynn is the writer.
Yeah, Ian Flynn is writer. You're right.
And he has been doing absolute fucking bangers.
His
Oh
stuff
my
is
gosh.
really. And I know he's still doing a lot of animation for Sega.
Oh yeah, Tyson Hesse is doing a shit ton of animation for Sonic Team and all that fun jazz. But Ian Flynn was actually the one who wrote for Sonic Frontiers. Yeah. And the funny part is a lot of people were sitting there wondering why Sonic was referencing Tangled the Lemur. And they're like, Tangled the Lemur has only been in one game, and that's on a mobile game. Why is he referencing it? It's because Tangled the Lemur was actually first shown in IDW Comics and is a mainstay in the whole entire cast. Tangled the Lemur and Whisper the Wolf.
You have those two and then one other character that survived Sonic Boom reign. Styx is still relevant.
Oh, Styx is still relevant too, yeah.
Styx is still relevant.
And in the actual comics, they actually write Styx very well.
Isn't she partially fourth wall breaky at times too?
Yes. You don't get to see much of Styx though, which is a little bit sad, but you know. I've been collecting all of the IDW Sonics. I don't have an obsession with Sonic. No, not in the slightest.
You just like Tyson Hesse's art. You just like Tyson's art.
Oh, no, the funny part is I've always been a huge Sonic buff ever since I was a kid. The first Sonic video game I ever got was the first video game I actually got to buy myself or get for myself, which was Sonic the Hedgehog for the Genesis Sega. I didn't get it in a shop. I got it as a hand-me-down from my cousin. And I got Sonic the Hedgehog #1. And also I got, what was it called? It was Sonic Spinball. And that's what first brought me to the Blue Blur. And I was like, this is fucking amazing. I love this.
Most people ask what my favorite like older style franchise is from that generation. It's still Mega Man for me. Always has been.
Mega Man's amazing. Honestly,
I
Mega
still
Man
try-
is so cool.
I still try to play Mega Man 6 every year around my birthday because it's one of those few games I can always come back to every year.
The game that I constantly come back to or played the most will be Borderlands 2. That's the game that I played the most. One of the top games that I love to death will always be the Kingdom Hearts series. I love Kingdom Hearts. And I own every game that you can get your hands on, except the Japanese one that was the mobile game that you can't download anymore. Fuck off. I wish I could get it. I even have the PSP version when my PSP doesn't really work properly whenever it comes to Birth by Sleep. But I thoroughly love Kingdom Hearts. Always have and probably always will. I have the majority of the manga itself. Now one of my guilty pleasures is One Piece Pirate Warriors. I play the shit out of that anytime I get a chance. And I know that each one of them, the endings suck because they did the endings before the actual thing got. Oh yeah, what's up, Arrow? But oh yeah, I finally figured out how to do that too. But whenever it comes to One Piece Pirate Warriors, oh my gosh, it is such a guilty pleasure of mine. And I will spend hours upon hours. I got so good at it at one point that I was using Usopp in the very last bit of it without him fully upgraded, and I was still kicking ass. I don't know how. But that was back in One Piece Pirate Warriors #1 on the PlayStation 3. And then they kind of just fucked it up.
A friend of mine's been streaming that a lot recently.
Oh, Pirate Warriors 4?
4 or 3. I don't remember which one it was. I just know it's one of the Pirate Warriors games in general.
Whenever he does supers, does he have teammates that pop up with the supers?
Every so often, yeah.
Yep, it's Pirate Warriors 3.
Little
Because in Pirate Warriors 4, Pirate Warriors 3 and 2 had a mechanic which was so much fun because you could actually have people come over and help you. So if you did a super, they would hop in your super and you could have like a hell of a great super. Now the downside is that you could break the fucking game with it. It was so much fun. One thing I do miss though is that they nerfed Fuji I think, whatever his name is, the blind guy who does gravity. They nerfed him so hard because originally you could stand in any area whenever it came to, like, say if you were trying to take over an area, you could stand there and spam his, because there used to be a charge attack that you could do. With Zoro, it was Lion Song. With a couple others, there's a couple different ones. But you could charge up that attack and then release it. And Fuji, basically, this wouldn't cost you no meter whatsoever. You could do whatever you want. You just had to wait for about 10 seconds. No, 5 to 10 seconds. And basically, once you release that, you release the power of a typical super. And it would clear that whole entire area. So you could go and just clear that area so quickly. It was ridiculous. The one person that they did not nerf in the new Pirate Warriors 4, though, is fucking, what's his name? He's a yokai. Or, no, not yokai. He's a guy, Atlanta Wano. He killed, Odin. Oh, what was his name? He's the main
I
baddie.
got no- I got nothing.
1 second. I got this. Kaido. Kaido. Kaido was broken as shit. Because he takes up, like, whenever he's standing, he can take up the majority of the area that you need to take. And all you gotta do is, like, a couple attacks, and everyone in that area is done. And also, you can't get stun locked, or you can't get stunned as him, because he's such a big-ass motherfucker. The only way that you can get stunned is if somebody comes up to you and does a super, basically. So you could powerhouse through literally anything. Somebody comes up and starts whacking you, you're not stunned. You don't have to worry about it. Also, back in the day, in Pirate Warriors 1, 2, 3, and also, I think, a little bit of 3, you can also do something which was basically you are invincible and you can hit because you would be dashing. So you would dash and attack at the same exact time, and basically you are almost invincible, but you're still dealing a good chunk of damage. It was great. It was fucking broken, and I think that's the reason why they took it out of Pirate Warriors 4. And I cannot wait to see Pirate Warriors 5. Oh, wait,
Also,
hold on. Valve? Excuse me?
I already know that they're working on like the update for CS:GO. That's it. That's all they've been majorly doing.
You know, that's at least something.
They're working on the Source 2 version of that, and it's almost done.
I got Back for Blood, and it's a fun game. Don't get me wrong, it's a fun game. I do not consider it. Oh, that was so cute. Oh wait, no. They're working on what? And as guess that was. Oh,
I already said that. That's what
gotcha.
it's not even. It's not even a sequel. It's the same game. Like they already said. It's basically just get it. It's just overhauling Counter Strike. Just making it on Source 2. That's it. People
Honestly,
have been
that's pretty
misconstruing
baller.
that for years.
That's pretty baller. But the thing that is going to irk me is whenever they stated that, oh, Back for Blood is a spiritual successor.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
It doesn't feel like it is. I'm going to be honest. Yes, it's basically what it feels like to me is they go, yeah, but it's officially called that. Yeah. And basically, they're just like, oh yeah, guess what? Whenever it comes to it, it basically feels like somebody came over and was like, hey, we want to make a version of Left 4 Dead, but not Left 4 Dead. And
you don't know if the actual same company that made it.
yeah, and I'm just like, all right, cool. It doesn't feel like Left 4 Dead.
You feel disappointed.
It's still a game. I still played it. It still has some fun aspects. So I will state that, yes, it's a fun game, but it's still slightly disappointing to me.
Oh, by the way, you're clear to just go. Like, this is a full sprint.
Okay, cool. Sounds like a plan. Okay.
Everything left you got is full sprint.
Sweet. Oh, also, I got a strange commission come from TikTok that I haven't put on my list yet.
Ooh.
This one is a little bit more spicy, but also it's weird because it used to be a t-shirt back in the 90s. And somebody's kind of trying to recreate it. And I kind of remember this t-shirt back in the 90s. And I'm just like, huh. I never thought anybody would want this thing back. It was kind of, oof. But okay, let's go. Basically, it's a lot of skeletons doing poses. There's sprinting to aim down sights, which, yeah, I noticed that. Because, oh, okay, so I remember. No, I'm still thinking of, whatchamacallit, the Back for Blood. Because they also had aim down sights whenever it came to that, and it was bizarre. I will say it was bizarre, but also at the same time I was like, oh, all right, let's try this. Let's try this out. This is gonna be fun. We'll see how well this goes. Maybe it'll go good. Maybe it will go bad. Who knows? But oh, good
I'm-
golly.
Can you give me the details on it? Because I would love to see it later, like whenever we're done. I would love to know.
Oh yeah. Most definitely.
That's a curiosity's been piqued, and if I've seen this, because I grew up with a lot of more '90s stuff than I thought I would, being born in '01.
The funny part is oh, Toon Shade! Pics to work on. Oh, I have a lot of things to work on.
As hard as he can while his body lets him.
The biggest thing right now also is there's a couple different things I really want to work on. One of the biggest things I do want to work on is doing more actual concept art. So
Yeah.
more along
We
the
were
lines
having
of,
fun last time we did it.
yeah. So basically more along the lines of actually designing characters, but going based upon how most companies do that, because that's going to be the hardest part. And I really want to get more stuff like that. Yeah, it became an unintentional COD clone whenever it comes to zombies. And that's what makes me sad. And give me just 1 second. I gotta go and see what the fuss is with the pup. I'll be right back.
Gotcha. You would say unintentional, but without Back 4 Blood is structured with its dumb card system, I wouldn't even say it's an unintentional COD clone. I just say it's just bad. Its card structure just kind of falls flat, especially since you have to work to get a lot of it, which a lot of what they give you already just kind of screws up a lot of what you can do, especially for that game's whole shtick. It just feels like the flow is bad.
Oh, I know, right? Alright, she's just barking to bark. Because I'm probably only going to go to about 9 tonight.
Yeah, 2 hours. 2 hours is smooth.
Oh, Corey's avatar barked. Yeah. Pupper decided to bark.
I will get my people updated whenever everything else is cleared up. By the way, I forgot to say that earlier. My brain blanked.
Sounds like a plan. Oh, I need this book so I can double check how they draw hands, because I'm going based upon a different artist for hands, because I like how they draw hands in this. How hard is it to find the fucking thing I need? Alright. Also, I love how they do expressions. So the person that I'm using is Joe Manduria. I think that's the name.
Why does it sound familiar?
Basically, if you knew any comics from the 90s, yeah, he did tons of illustrations for it. And also he did a lot of illustrations for a lot of the Marvel characters. Basically, he's known for big, like, buff men. And also big bosomed women.
Okay.
And the thing is that how they draw hands is very, very similar to the way that I want this character's hands to be drawn. And let's see. I'm going to try to mimic a little bit, but the downside is every fucking edge that I'm looking for is really annoying. It's not working as properly as I want. Come on, give me a good hand, a good pose that I'm looking for, so that I can see a good reference, please. Ooh, Counter-Strike. Okay.
To be entirely honest, with how that game flows, if they're just making it its own thing, I feel like it's going to end up being that way eventually. Because games that flow like that usually are pretty simple when it comes to how they're structured. That or it gets really fucky as an FPS, especially for that kind of format. Because if it's going to end up being competitive, oh boy, they hope they better get their stuff structured quickly. Because if it's bad at start, no one's going to want to play. And if
People.
if it wants a competitive scene, it has to be able to be playable or functional.
Then you look back on Evolved.
I don't want to have to go back to Evolve because that's a game Turtle Rock made full knowing they would fuck up.
Oh,
Listen,
just hanging out. Hopefully
one
one
v
day.
four is 1v4 is possible. Well, 1v4 game can work. DBD's Dead by Daylight's a good example of that, but that game has problems of its own.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, Toon Shade. One time I'm wanting to just do a chill stream, well, where everyone's just relaxing and chilling, and we watch
Yeah.
shit and have fun. One of these times, and honestly, I'll probably do one while I'll be working on the side, and then we could just watch and chill and watch shit.
While you're probably working on one of those things for me, you could probably do that. Because you can save it for Wednesday and the weekend. We can just vibe while you're working. Because that means I wouldn't know it. That means I wouldn't know anything.
Yeah, give me 1 second. I'm gonna go and figure out really what's going on with this puppy because she is going fucking haywire.
I would say Overwatch is weird. Original Overwatch is just fine. I think a lot of its patching was what got people still functioning because its competitive scene took a while to pop off, but it still popped off. If CSGO wants to do what it's going to do, I'm just hoping it's good. And we'll see how it goes. It really just depends on how things for him work out. But I'm fully sure we can do one of those soon. You see, Arrow, Valorant is a Riot game, which means it can just be successful because of how those company runs. Because League already brings in a lot of competitive money.
Alright. Sorry, brought the puppy down so she'll calm down.
How is the little shape?
Oh, the little shit's alright. She's a bitch and a half, though.
Someone's been asking me for a dog update for like 2 or 3 days because they appreciate getting Ember updates.
She is doing phenomenal. She was doing pretty good with not pissing and shitting in the house for a minute. Then I figured out that she was pissing and shitting on one specific rug that did not show piss or shit stains. Well, she didn't shit on it, but she pissed on it all the time. And it never showed stains, so I never noticed it.
He plays you for a fool.
Oh, yeah, she played me like a fucking fiddle. But now I pay attention more and all that fun jazz. So she doesn't get away with it as much. Oh, Newgrounds and YouTube, yes.
That would be a good chill stream.
Oh,
Sorry.
yeah. Go for it.
It'd be nice to do a chill stream just kind of going through older style animation like that.
Oh, hell yeah.
From both sites. That would actually be a fun time through.
Oh, did y'all see the post that Blizzard put for National Women's Day?
I don't think I have.
Okay, so there's a huge scandal about I think it was Blizzard that fucked around and found out whenever it comes to being assholes to women. And
wait, is it?
Basically what happened was they posted something that's like, here's to all of our women of Blizzard, and apparently there was assault charges or SAs Yeah, Arrow knows because I think I did talk about it, but it was oof, big
Tori,
oof.
I'm gonna be honest. The only reason why I partially remember because I just had it dawn back on me is because of this the post under it.
Oh, the posts under it are so funny.
Because it's basically spamming this, and you know what? It's fair. That's right.
Yeah, the memes that they posted underneath it
I'm
are
gonna
so
keep
funny.
it real with you. I'm gonna keep it real with you, Activision Blizzard. Blizzard. No one's gonna forget.
Yeah,
People
nobody.
didn't forget.
And they're hoping and praying that people did, and I'm just like, ooh, buddy, ooh.
You can't give me forgiveness with Diablo 4.
Oh, did you hear about I can't remember which state it was. What I didn't
Because
tell you. Oh, you installed
was that I
Battle.net. Valid.
I don't have it installed. When it comes to Riot shit, I do still play some of their stuff at times, even though that company's a little funky sometimes.
Yeah. But I will say that another fun thing. Did you hear about the family that had, I think it was like 5 kids, basically forcibly removed from them because the parents were randomly pulled over. And while they were randomly pulled over, they did a drug test and found out that the dad had marijuana in his system. And the thing is that it was legal in that state, number one. They decided to detain the parents and do an even further investigation on the mom, who, on the initial one, she didn't have marijuana in her system. But with a further test that was like a month, they found, traces of marijuana in her system. So they took their kids, even though that they were not driving intoxicated or under the influence or anything like that. They took their children, and they didn't even live in that state. And the state took the children and tried to incarcerate the parents for, what was it? Endangering children. Even though marijuana was legal and they were not endangering the children.
I hope those police were fucking fired.
Who knows? It became a huge case, and everyone on TikTok was talking about it for a minute. I didn't know anything about it until my wife told me.
I hadn't heard about this at all because most of my stuff wouldn't have had it come up.
Yeah, it was not good, not good at all.
You want to know something even more? You want to know something that's even more worse, and it's recent? Remember the whole Justin Roiland thing that happened?
You gotta remind me. I'm terrible with names.
The guy who made the co-producer of Rick and Morty, that guy.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
He got let off his charges.
Really? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, even the DM stuff. The DM stuff was legit, but they just let him. They just let him off. He was just, the case was dismissed.
Oh, you know what's even funnier? Okay, so I loved Rick and Morty. Okay, I watched the shit out of Rick and Morty, and I stopped watching Rick and Morty at a point. I think it was after Giant Space Incest Baby. That was the end point for me.
No. Yeah,
and
no.
I popped back on for a little bit to see, and holy crap, I did not realize how hardcore it's basically almost every joke was an incest joke, and it started to get really uncomfortable, and I just sat there, I was like,
I'm gonna just make the very dumb joke now. Do I hear the first few notes of Sweet Home Alabama start playing?
Is that banjos I hear in the distance? Oh my gosh, I did not realize until, yeah, they needed him to continue the show, and I didn't realize, like, oh gosh, and that one dragon episode, don't get me wrong, start of the dragon episode was fun and all, and at the very end, I was just like, "Excuse me, excuse me, what? We need a cure for lust." Trust me, you're never going to get rid of lust. Trust me. I mean, look at 90% of the things that people commission people for on the internet. Yeah. There's a whole entire website dedicated to it. Well, actually, multiple. Hundreds of them, actually. You're never going to get rid of it.
Just for certain shit, you'll never escape it.
Oh,
That's the one thing that ruins a career.
It can
Well,
ruin or
here's the
make one.
thing, it can ruin or make one. It will
Depends
not
on-
do both. It will choose.
Yeah. Also, you got whatever his name is from iCarly with his foot thing. Shit.
Oh, Dan Schneider.
Yeah.
It's a good thing he does.
Louise.
Good thing he just kind of went off the map, though.
Yeah, he went off the map from doing that so much, or doing stuff, and I'm glad for that. And don't even get me started on Butch Hartman. Ugh. I love
man-
Danny Phantom, but ugh, that guy's an asshole.
Man's Christian, too, so anytime I hear anything about that, it's a yikes.
The fun part is that whole entire, like, oh yeah, we have our own Christian, whatchamacallit, like, it's basically like a
Subscription
Patreon
service.
that he's like, oh yeah, I did animation for, and the animation is just so janky. Ugh.
Yeah, it's bad.
No. He's just, he's a red flag.
Pain.
But,
Pain intensifies.
oh yeah. And this is coming from a kid that was born and raised Southern Baptist. Which
I'm
is,
gonna say, yeah, most of this area would be mostly considered Southern Baptist, because most of Missouri and Kentucky are considered that with part of Christianity they're in.
yep. Now, you know the fun part is that I grew up studying religion. That's literally all I studied. I find religion absolutely fascinating because it is something that humans will base their whole entire belief on. They will kill for this belief. They will literally rip people asunder for this belief and completely trample others due to this belief. Now, the thing is that whenever it comes to different religions, you have people that you cannot just throw the whole entire religion under the bus because of a few people, i.e. the extremists. And every religion has extremists and everything like that. I mean, that's natural whenever it comes to it. But also, whenever it comes down to it, you also have to see how people interpret their own text, if you will.
Yeah.
Because, trust me, there is multiple times where I have heard somebody come up to me and say, "Do not test the Lord your God." And I would ask them, okay, where does that say in the Bible? Exactly where does that say? And are you taking this out of context? And typically, I'm trying to remember what verse that they would always tell me. Let me see real quick. Not test. There we go. Deuteronomy 6:16. And I'm like, alrighty, cool. And I'm like, context. The Lord your God, who am among you, is a jealous God. Otherwise, the anger of the Lord, blah, 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 kindle against you. He'll wipe you off the face of the earth. Do not test the Lord your God as you tested him at Massa. So, whenever people are like, do not test the Lord your God, it's like, I was just asking a question, and you stated that to me. I feel like that's just copping out of answering my question. And my other personal favorite is, oh, well, you're not allowed to do things in order to test if God is actually there. I'm like, it was done multiple times in the Bible whenever it came to the test of the dew on the handkerchief, or whichever one you want to call it. There's been multiple times where people have tested. And if you're going to believe something, don't you want to make sure that you know what you're putting your trust in. But I'm getting off topic, and people are probably just sitting here wanting me to draw tits. So yeah,
You'll get that eventually, just not today.
just not today. Everyone starts leaving.
I mean, technically that can be changed with pace. You don't got a lot left.
Oh yeah. I mean, honestly, what I really want to draw is Yamato from One Piece. Really want to draw them. Did you know, actually, in One Piece? Oh, I had a stressful day. I always had a stressful day. Hydrate, redeem, yes. But the funnest thing is that I completely forgot what I was going to say. Oh, yes. Whenever it comes to Yamato, if you are watching One Piece, it is hilarious because most people do refer to Yamato as he.
It's a she, isn't it?
Technically speaking. But Kaido originally started referring to Yamato as a he, calling him son. And basically, Yamato went with that and basically is calling themselves. What's the word? Odin. And it's funny because when Ace fights with them, refers to them as him, which is very funny because if I remember right, there is a couple of different characters that are considered transition in One Piece. Not whenever it comes to whatever the person's name who does the hormone injections and can change anyone's gender at will.
Yeah.
But actually legit whenever it comes to transition in the land of Wano. I can't remember if it was Yamato or not, but it is so amazing whenever it comes to the first time Luffy meets Yamato. And continuously, because the one thing that I was imagining was Luffy going like, oh my gosh, you're a girl. No, not a single one, because normally Luffy is straight in the face. But, like, on the nose would be blatant as I'll get out, but constantly refers to him as him. Which I was very surprised and actually really enjoyed. I was like, oh, that is really cool. I was not expecting Luffy of all people, because I think Luffy was corrected once or twice in the actual show from other characters. Not for Yamato, but other characters. So yeah.
Oh, but now I think about it. You were right about the dub, by the way.
Oh, how terrible the dub is?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. That's why I only watch One Piece sub, not dubbed. Dub is trash.
I still need to get a Crunchyroll sub, but I've been lazy about that.
Valid.
That and I'm just being mindful of money.
Oh, Abby, what do you prefer when it comes to One Piece, sub or dub?
Do you even have to fucking ask? It's subbed all the way. Oh
Exactly.
no, I like listening to the dub. That makes me actively want to kill myself.
Oh yeah, whenever it comes to, well, actually, have you heard Nico Robin's voice in dub?
I don't like any of it. It all makes me
Some
sad.
of the dub voices aren't bad. They're just confusing.
They are confusing, but whenever she actually does the whole entire Water 7, whenever she screams I want to live,
Yeah.
holy fuck. I watched that in dubbed not that long ago because somebody was talking about that instance and they had the dub playing instead of the sub. I was like, oh gosh, it's going to be shitty. But she cranks it home.
I mean, there are certain scenes for
oh
sure that
gosh.
you can do.
Also,
You can't
she
escape
gives big mommy
Luffy.
energy.
You know what's more important?
You can't escape it.
Resident Evil 4.
Resident Evil. Oh, don't get me started on Resident Evil 4. Oh shit, that was woo.
I'm hoping
I have no
it's
interest
supposed
in
to
playing
come out tomorrow. I'm
RE4.
hoping
That's
it'll
one of my
play at
least
midnight
favorite
tonight.
Resident Evils.
Fingers crossed.
Okay, so I'm trying to remember which Resident Evil was the worst one in my opinion. Because everybody always says it's, what was it, 5 or 6 that everybody says was the
It's
worst.
6.
But I
It's
think for
sick.
us, it's Revelations 2 because we fucking broke that game.
Oh, we broke that
We
shit so
did.
fast. Oh my gosh, that was
Listen, 7 and 8 are just good, but 8 is where...
That is still
8 is
my
funky.
favorite clip to this day
Mhm.
of us doing anything stupid.
Oh yeah.
I still think RE8's really weird, but I appreciate its weirdness.
RE8 has a lot of fun. And the one thing that always pisses me off on all of them is... Abby, what pisses me off about Resident Evil?
I'm gonna. What pisses
Albert
you off
Wesker.
about everything, movies, video games, whatnot, would be the gun design.
Yes, it's the gun designs and how inaccurate they are, because fuck that!
But we were playing the
There's only a-
Resident Evil 4 remake demo the other day.
And I was actually impressed.
You were impressed.
Because
There's
the
only,
thing, yep, the thing whenever it comes to whenever he racks the slide back, it's actually pretty spot on. Whenever he does the release of the slide, very spot on. I was very impressed. Oh, so even the chainsaw. Oh gosh. Okay, chainsaw, fuck that. Chainsaws are horrible if you are dealing with a zombie apocalypse. You don't want to be in chainsaw distance because you're throwing their fluids everywhere. And if it is transmitted by fluids, it's a fucking dumbass idea to run them with a chainsaw because guess what? There are fluids all over you. And if you have any cuts, bruises, or anything like that, well, not bruises, but any breaks in your fucking skin, then guess what? You're a fucking zombie now, because you're a dumbass and thought that a chainsaw was a great idea.
You know a series that I never expected to get guns correctly, and that's something we could eventually sit through, because I actually appreciate it, and I grew up with it.
Which one?
I've talked about it. Madness Combat.
Which
The
one?
creators of Madness Combat, as in like the one where Tricky and shit's from. That series.
Oh, yeah!
The guns are accurate. All of them. All of them. They shoot out the correct amount of bullets for how much they actually would have in mag. All the reloads are correct. All of it.
You know what?
That creator is fucking accurate. Every time.
You know what the best manga I have ever seen? Whenever, and also the design of the chainsaw. But the best...
Back to compare, it's dumb.
Yeah. The best manga that ever got guns right, Gunsmith Cats.
Well, yeah.
The person who did Gunsmith Cats actually is a huge gun buff. And they wanted... And a car buff, too. And they wanted a manga that would actually do guns and cars in a decent way. And they fucking did it. It's so good. And whenever it comes to the different calibers, how the calibers would function, and just based on, it is so much fun. It's a great, if you ever get a chance to read or watch Gunsmith Cats, definitely do it, because Riley is bae. Or, not Riley, Raleigh Vincent is bae. I can't say that Minnie May is bait because Minnie May is like, what, 14? No, no trap.
Actually, now I'm looking back at some of the series weapons they actually do have. I do have to say this, double backing on it. Most of the weapons are Cold War. Like
Cold War,
FAMAS, like older variations of those weapons.
Valid. What are you playing with over here? Oh, ball. Ball.
We're blooping.
Bloop, 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 bloop. Oh, golly. What's the next thing that Corey's going to rant about today?
The amount of tourists in this town.
Oh my
Okay.
gosh, tourists are fucking stupid.
Actually,
The
Actually,
amount of
wait.
phone calls Abby had to take today.
You just I can't tell which one that one is. My brain's having a bad time. I'm
What?
still I'm trying to figure out who's in the background.
Abby.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, asking about who was in the background. Abby is.
Oh, yeah, it's me.
Oh, the
Also,
weapons in
Dani's
college.
inside. Don't talk about COD. No. Most of those weapons are wrong.
Number
Most
one,
of those
no
weapons
bullet
are
drop.
wrong. No bullet drop either.
Do you know how long it took them to actually start putting bullet drop in the fucking game?
I think it took up to like Black Ops Cold War.
I think it's the
Cold War
newest
Modern
Black
Warfare
Ops.
2019.
Yeah, because whenever they started doing the Warzone was whenever they started doing bullet drop.
Because of that, because of how long the maps are, if they didn't do it, it'd be
Way too
bullshit.
fucking easy. Yeah, it would be bullshit.
Hey, you want to see a man snipe you from a bush from across the map where you couldn't actually see him because there's no glint? Yeah, no. There you go. Bang.
Oh,
Gone.
I fucking. Okay, so here's the deal. Call of Duty. Don't get me wrong. I was a COD player. I played COD all the time. I'm more of a Battlefield player myself, but I used to play the shit out of COD. I was actually not bad at COD. Not until I started doing commissions. Once I started doing commissions, then I stopped playing COD because I didn't have time for COD. And I used to play COD at all the time I could. I played it with my brother. Oh, she found out how to make the buffalo buff.
It made the noise and she looked so confused.
Oh yeah, she's been trying that for a while. But basically, whenever it came to Call of Duty, I've played that thing for years, and I will say that it's just the same shit with a different skin every year. It feels like what they do with Madden.
Also, I just realized something. You want weapon reloads?
Oh,
I
are
have
you talking about the...
I can bring up one game that would piss you off so fast for the ones that are really weird, but the
CS:GO?
rest of them would actually get Destiny 2. Like most of the Destiny
yeah,
franchise's exotic weapon pool. Those are built around it, but at the same time,
CS:GO actually pissed me off.
aren't those still inaccurate?
Need you to apply for voice acting commissions. That would be fun.
I'm about to say that.
Thank you.
Plus, that'd be easy because the editing for that wouldn't even take that long.
Oh yeah,
at times.
I would honestly, I would love to post up that. That'd be fun. But the one that really pisses me off, Halo. Oh, Halo.
I wouldn't say that because I didn't grow up with it. I would have COD and me, or I grew up with COD for most of my life. I didn't grow up with Halo.
Do you know
I grew up with the consoles they were on.
Do you know a fun thing about... Here's a little fun fact about me. So, whenever it comes to where I was originally born and raised, that was actually one of the first places that the Xbox 360 was actually released to the public.
Yep.
And the cool part is that whenever it comes to my godparents, they run a company that helped out with whenever it came to Microsoft and all that fun jazz, which I didn't know about until later on in life. But, oh my gosh, I did not realize that I got to play Halo before most people did because they got a copy of Halo as a thank you before it was released, and we got to play it, and I did not realize I was playing Halo until later on in life, and I was like, holy shit, I played Halo before it came out. But good golly. I would love to do voice acting stuff, honestly. Voice acting would be amazing. And the thing is that all I gotta do is just sit down.
You have a booth. You have a booth for it.
Oh, I got a booth. I got everything.
Some of my friends over time have thought the same thing. Since with how my tone is in general, it does work for a lot of things. Because a lot of people can't really do more dryness well. Because I've noticed over time people try to, but it's either really overtuned or just undertuned. If you're trying to go for something
for a
dry.
second there, I thought you were saying like auto-tuned, and I was about to say.
I'm meaning.
Oh yeah, the original
I'm usually
one.
just. Yeah. when it comes to just how I am, I'm just more people just see me as an androgynous. When I was
Because
younger, people thought I was just a girl at the gate, which is fucking hilarious to me.
you know the funny part is, when I
Hmm.
worked as a motherfucker, what you barking at? When I was working as a working in fast food, I constantly had people mistake me for a girl over the intercom. Mainly because my customer service voice was way more lighter, and also whenever it came to oh, do you know how hard it is? Because I'm still kind of doing customer servicey voice whenever I'm talking right now, so that people can actually understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because
Most
honestly, whenever I'm actually talking to people, typically I'm going to be talking with a lot of motherfucker, what you barking at? Yeah, that's more closer to what I sound like typically. But I try to make it so that people can actually understand me whenever I'm trying to tell them how to do art stuff and all that fun jazz. Because I talk really fast and also use some sort of slang or slur my words. And also, whenever it comes to pronunciating or enunciating, fuck that. I don't have time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Because why not?
for me, again, my voice kind of gives off. Again, since I usually try to talk like around here, not try to amp it up unless I'm just laughing or just in that kind of mood.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the time, I just come off just
I'm kind of going back and forth.
more feminine and faint. Some people just can't tell sometimes.
Valid. Abby,
What's up?
deep laugh, go.
A deep laugh. So as deep as I can go.
Also, tell them I said hi.
Oh,
I
Danny
said
says hi.
that before, and I did.
Hello.
Currently are still in my headphones.
A hearty sailor's laugh.
E.
Thank you.
I do what you want because a pirate is free.
You gotta grab the belly when you do it.
I'm scaring the dog.
don't-
The dog is literally on my leg right now, looking at me with so much concern.
What? It sounds like you're having a stroke.
I am. I
Hearty sailor, well, Mary, where's your hearty sailor?
am. Most people do.
I'm not a Scooby-Doo villain.
Yeah.
No, you have to be a One Piece villain.
Oh yeah. Oh, you know that is a very
No.
teach laugh. You know.
I don't know why, but he always goes, and you're like, what the fuck? Teach, stop. What type of laugh is this? Or that's the one thing I love about One Piece is the most random ass laughs. You got like oh, what was his name? Kaido goes, "Grrr!" It's like he rolls his laugh. It is so fucking weird. And you're like, dude,
Good vocal design.
it is good vocal design. But then you got people that is like Kizua, the laser guy, whatever his name is, where he always goes, oh. At the very end, it's just like, how are you doing today? Ooh.
Tunchi, I'm gonna guess that was toward me. Yeah. The last thing said because I was just reading through it and I was just trying to make sure that was correct.
Bella.
Because I was just
Okay, so I must sit in the most awkward position possible.
Did you just say because you're gay, you have to sit in the most awkward position possible?
Yeah.
I sit in the most awkward position possible
And you're basically
all the time.
gay.
We discussed this. You're
How many times?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so here's the deal.
No.
I have had many, and I've said this on stream multiple times. I have had many people think that I am actually gay. And oh gosh, I am not, but I am comfortable enough in my sexuality that I'm very effeminate. So, whenever it comes down
I was
to
type-
it, oh yeah, you're typing.
so,
But
yeah, I was making.
it is so funny because we also have a whole entire shtick that's in our household that my wife is basically a guy, and because how feminine I am, I'm basically a girl. So basically, my wife is basically the dad, and I'm basically the mom whenever it comes to our future kid. And I'm like, you know, you're not completely wrong, and I don't give enough shits to really care, but all right. But I will throw down and kick the shit out of anybody who comes up and messes with my kid.
Okay, yeah, that was for me.
Like,
Most people never get to hear me sound like more feminine like this because I usually try to keep it fluid whenever people start like getting to know me, so people have something consistent to go with, and I just sound like this when I'm more relaxed.
well,
It depends on situation because I know when I can't talk like this and I have to talk just as I usually do when I'm actually being like in public or anything. It usually comes off just what it should. It just comes off more middle grounded. But if I'm able to relax, it's more soft toned.
my customer service voice has changed dramatically because my customer service voice used to be, "Hi, how are you doing today?" or "How can I help you today?" Now,
And now we're at.
it's, "Yo, what's up, fam? How you doing today?" I sound more like I'm about to be like, "Yo, what's up? How can I help you?"
You sound like you're about to sell me a boombox for like $50.
I know. I'm like, "Yo, I got the good shit. Come over here. I got you. Don't worry."
Also, don't ask. It's a boombox that seems like it was already in use. Don't worry, it still works.
Don't worry
It still
about it.
works.
It still works. It's still good. Don't look into it, if you know what I mean. Good gosh, no. I've had way too much fun. And I remember the first time whenever I was working at the comic book shop, my boss, I always call people Captain and Doc. It's natural for me. I always be like, "What's up, Captain? How you doing, Doc?" And at the very beginning, my boss was like, "Hey, some people are just kind of like, whoa, why are you saying that?" I'm like, "Oh, it's something that I naturally say because number one, I don't know how you align, so I don't want to make an assumption. So thusly saying Captain or Doc, it's basically more along uni, so you're not going to get mad at me." And then whenever you tell me, "Hey, I align this way," then I'm like, "All right, cool. I'll refer to you that way." But also, because I always say, "What's up, Doc?" all the fucking time, too. So, yeah. But the fun part is that at the beginning, people were like, "Oh, that's weird." And then now, I'm like, "Hey, how's it going, Doc? Or, what's up, Cap? You looking for anything?" And they're like, "Oh, what's up?" And they would say Cap or anything like that back. It's the funniest thing ever. Now, the one thing that I do love, though, is no matter what, no matter how bad your fucking day is, if you have a lady that is of the darker variety, aka the beautiful, and she's older, almost like to about granny age, and she says
Oh no.
sugar or honey in a southern accent, oh shit,
You done?
I'm fucking done. I had somebody say that to me in New Orleans. Oh my gosh, it made my whole entire week because she's like, "All you gotta do is go over there, sugar," and I was like, "Oh, thank you."
I've never really heard that too much for the fact that most of my family up here don't like saying that too much. They just kind of do their own thing.
Yo, go down south once. Go down south once.
Oh no, I've heard it plenty. I've lived in Texas for about 2 years. Once you start living down there, you'll hear it.
Oh yeah, it's the greatest. Oh my gosh. Oh.
It depends on where you go. There's a lot of situations to where it might come up or it might not. It's really dependent on the area. Because Louisiana is a good example. Because a lot of the area you will probably find someone that'll call you that, and that's it.
Oh, it's so great. It feels so good. Oh my goodness. It melts all the problems away. I used to have depression. Oh, have you seen the
Honey's
alligators?
one of those. Huh?
I saw. Have you seen it? Oh yeah, I actually held an alligator twice actually in my life, and I've eaten alligator before. I have not punched an alligator yet. I really want to though. But no, it's like you sit
Ever
there and
eaten
be
deer?
like,
Ever eaten deer before?
oh yeah, I've had deer meat, squirrel meat. I've had
I'm
what
very
else?
grateful I
Elk.
had squirrel.
I've had elk. I've had crab. I've had escargot. I've had durian, which is a type of the king fruit, which tastes like a fucking fart.
Yeah.
I have had shit. Well, no, okay, yes, I've eaten. There we go. No, I've not eaten shit. I've actually. So whenever I was getting treats for my puppy,
Mm-hmm.
did you know that there's a whole entire job of tasting dog treats to make sure that they're good for dog consumption? So, technically speaking, people get paid to eat dog treats.
Huh.
So, with that knowledge in mind, I wanted to see what my dog's treats tasted like. Because it said that it was burnt ends from roast beef. And I was like, okay, I know exactly what that tastes like. I want to see if this tastes similar. Or they're
You're
fucking
wondering to
pulling
see if
my
it's
chain.
accurate or not.
Or change. Yeah, I was wanting to see if they're accurate or they're fucking pulling my chain and being assholes about it. They're like, oh yeah, it totally tastes like it because it smells like it hurt. And then it doesn't. And then I'm like, wow, now I feel like an asshole owner giving my dog this shit and being like, oh, you want this? And she just sit there and is like, Dad, please, give me something better. Don't give me this gruel. So I took a bite. I will say that it did taste similar. The downside is it had a weird ass grit to it that I could not get out of my teeth. It was horrible. I had to go brush my teeth because of how bad that fucking grit was. So never again do I want to eat that because that grit was so fucking gross. Parlez-vous français? Ha ha ha. Oui, oui, bonjour.
Oh, what is that last part?
Oh, obviously, because I'm American, I do know how to speak the American form of French. Buongiorno. No. Okay, so I'm going to be honest. Oh, cat
Okay.
food. There you go. I'm going to be honest. When it comes down to me, I'm an asshole, number one. And I typically get a lot of things wrong. And also, I do get different languages completely wrong. Some people can definitely agree. Whenever my brother married his wife, who's Canadian French, I don't know a fucking lick of French. The only thing I know is Spanish. Well, very small amounts of Spanish. And it's going to be a Mexico Spanish whenever it comes to the dialect rather than any other type of Spanish. I don't know Spain Spanish, or because trust me, there's completely different forms. There's tons of different dialects. Don't think that every fucking, if somebody says a word in Spanish, it's not all the same. It's not all the same.
But it's like saying one word in English, but we have multiple definitions and terms for it.
You got there,
That's
and
just every
there.
language in general. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't just think of one. You have to be able to think about all of them and understand the context and understand how it's actually being used.
I still have to catch myself. Because there's multiple times where I'm just like, oh, that's Espanol from Mexico. And then it's like, well, no, that is not. And holy shit, I said that horribly, but you know, I butcher everything. But whenever it comes down to it, here's how because my grandfather learned that I was learning Spanish. And this gentleman looks at me and goes, "Don't worry, I know how to speak Spanish," and proceeds to just put an O and an L before and after every word. And I looked at him and I was like, "Grandpa, that is not even fucking close." And he goes, "Well, baño," and I'm like, because baño is an actual term whenever it comes to it. It means bathroom. And he's like, "Yeah," and then you say hello, oh, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, Grandpa, it's hola. It's not hello, oh." Oh my gosh. And this is the same gentleman that whenever I was having to learn how to weave to graduate college, I had to learn how to loom weave to graduate college. He proceeded to be like, "Oh, so you learn how to do underwasking basket weaving." And I looked at him and was like, "Well, you got one of those things right, Grandpa. I am learning how to loom weave." My grandmother understood what I was saying. My grandfather looked at me and was like, "Now, why would they want to teach you something like that?" And I was like, "Because it's the last credit I need in order to graduate." And he goes, "Well, that sounds stupid to me." And I'm like, "Grandpa, there's a lot of different things that have happened over the years. And I have to learn how to do this in order to graduate. So please, sir, just chill. Just chill. Chillax. Chillax, home slice." But yeah, it's... Yo, no fancy shit. Okay, so here's also another fun tidbit about Canada that I did not know. The word fuck is not a form of cursing. It is not. They use it all the fucking time.
It's a descriptive statement.
It is a descriptive statement. Thank you very much. It is not a curse word. So you will probably hear a kid walk around and be like, "Wow, it's fucking hot outside." And it's just like, you can't just sit there and be like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe your kid says fuck. You're a horrible parent." No. No, stop chewing on wires. You're going to die. Do you understand? I know you have no brain cells behind those beautiful eyes, but you got to think for one damn
Wire
second.
speed, wire speed, bro.
Huh?
I said wire speed, bro.
Oh, yeah. And I'm just...
That's all I said.
Shit. Oh, yeah. Culture is so different.
It's
And
fascinating.
It's
whenever you
absolutely
look this-
fascinating. And
Yeah.
here in America, we have done everything that we could to make sure that everyone's culture doesn't exist anymore.
Why that flashbang me? It shouldn't. It's true. But it just... Huh.
Yeah, if you look at it, we have destroyed so many cultures. It's not even funny. And we are continuing to destroy more and more cultures so that people can't basically be what they are in their culture. We throw them underneath the bus and be like, "Yo, you're not allowed to celebrate this," or "You're not allowed to do this." Just because. And it's like, well, it is a part of my culture. And they're like, "Well, don't worry, we'll give you a whole month to celebrate your culture. But after that, you got to kind of conform to this culture that is the American culture." And if I'm wrong, please let me know. One of the worst offenders of it was I realized it hardcore at my old job. I had a coworker who wanted to learn Spanish so that he could help people that were coming in that can only speak Spanish whenever it came to ponds. And one of my coworkers looked him dead in the eye and was like, "Why should we?" And I sit there and I'm like, because it's important. And it's like, well, they came... Hey, stop it. And he goes, well, they came here, they can learn our language. And it's like, do you understand that not all of them came here whenever it came to the Louisiana Purchase? Or, well, the Louisiana Purchase, and also multiple purchases that we did whenever it came to buying land. There was a chunk of it that were people that were Hispanic, that overnight they became U.S. citizens because the land that they lived on for years was bought from underneath them. And then basically somebody walked up to the door, knocked on the door, it's like, hey, you're American now. Congratulations. And then we decided to do mass deportation and deport everyone. And it was ridiculous. And people that weren't even Hispanic or even, like, they were born in the States were deported. And it's still going on.
Yeah.
Yep. Theoretically speaking, I could get deported at any given time. Which, yeah, makes no fucking sense. But I could. I legit could. Just because somebody messes up and goes, oh yeah, him? Oh, totally, we gotta deport his ass. I don't like how that looks, so I'm gonna erase it because I don't like how it looks. But yeah. At any given point, I could just be randomly deported, and then it's just like, oh, do you not have your papers to show that you're a legal citizen? I was born here. Well, do you have your birth certificate? Yes, because I carry that on me at all times. Give me 1 second to pull it out of my ass. And it's just ridiculous. Also, the funny part is that whenever it comes to becoming a U.S. citizen, they ask questions that most U.S. citizens can't even fucking answer because our education system is shit. But, oh well. Oh well. That's my rant for the day. Thank you all so much for listening to my rants. If you want to see any more rants, check out Corey ranting off his ass every fucking second at podcast.com. I'll say it again, / Corey's an asshole and has opinions.com.
You're really going for this full bit, aren't you? I was gonna bring up something, but I wanted to let you finish.
And also, if you want to donate to my Patreon is Corey's an absolute asshole. Corey's an absolute asshole and has his own opinions that most people don't give two shits about. .com.
I was gonna bring up an actor, but I didn't know if you knew who the hell this was.
Oh, who's the actor?
You know who Lance Reddick is?
Nope.
No? You ever seen any of the John Wick movies?
Yes.
You know who Sharon is?
No. I'm terrible with names.
Ah.
Wait, are you talking about the black guy who died?
Yes.
Yes, he also did the voice of the train guy in Rick and Morty. I remember
He's
everybody
also-
talking about it. He was really good.
He's had the same role in a video game for 9 years, and that's where I know him the most.
Oh, Destiny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's a big oof.
Happened on one of the Tuesdays, and it's just... I was just using the bathroom, and I was just looking at my phone, immediately saw this, and just had a... What?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Double back to make sure this isn't fake. No. No.
Yeah. I was about to say, schools teach you how to pass on tests and exams. That's literally all they're designed for. They're designed to crank out, basically, what's it called? Assembly line workers. That's all it is. And also how to beat other people's asses. That's it. And also now, apparently, TikTok is almost about to get banned here in the States.
Oh yeah, about that. I heard about that. It's been back and forth if that's gonna happen or
Oh, and the bad part is that most places are like, do you know that TikTok is where most people get their news rather than news outlets? Because TikTok actually has it so that people can get the news without extreme bias. They actually get to see what the fuck's going on right then and there. Because people are like, oh, people marched on to the Capitol today. And then in TikTok, you get to see people throwing shit through the windows of Congress. But yeah. Welcome to the information age, bitches.
I just get most of mine off Twitter for the stuff I actually give a shit about.
Yeah, that's the fun part.
As much as Twitter can be a mess, it still works.
Twitter is also known as Titter. There's so much porn on Twitter. I'm surprised that
Yeah.
Twitter's allowed to have all that shit, while Tumblr had the big axe thrown at it whenever it came to, what was it? iOS.
That's actually a really good
That's the
question.
one thing that I wondered, was because Twitter was also well known for that shit, and just seeing that Tumblr got it, but Twitter didn't, I mean, I don't know much about the legal terms and conditions, but I think terms and conditions apply to more than just one or two companies. Also, technically speaking, Safari should be hit with that too, because it has complete access to a lot of unsavory bits.
Oh. Oh.
But what the hell do I know? I'm just an artist drawing a guy in a coat. Holy shit, can I not draw? I bet
That's
you
a
money
good
people
question.
are just basically turning off my voice and just watching. Hey! Card games on Moose.
Fear the jar. Fear the jar.
All I have is fear to fear itself. I never understood that phrase. The only thing I fear is fear itself. So are you afraid of being afraid? Wouldn't you be afraid all the time then? Oh yeah, soccer bet, which is actually gambling, and you're not supposed to enforce that onto children, even though we have card games that are basically gambling, like Pokemon, because you buy packs and you don't know what the fuck you're gonna get, and it encourages gambling for children.
You want to talk about your Yu-Gi-Oh addiction?
Oh my gosh, I actually do not have Yu-Gi-Oh addiction. Thank God.
No, I
have a One
don't
Piece
want.
addiction.
No, there's one person here I'm making fun of specifically. If they're still here, they know who they are.
You know who you are.
No, I'm being serious. If they're still in the chat, they know who I'm making fun of.
Oh gosh.
This is directed.
So, funny story. I had a parent come in and was like, "Oh, quick question. So, whenever it comes to the Pokemon, what's the big draw of Pokemon? Why does everyone love Pokemon so much?" And I looked them dead in the eye and I was like, "You know why everybody loves gambling?" And they go, yeah." I was like, "Same thing." It does suck ass. They just want the traffic. But it's so funny because I've had people that would come in and be like, so basically you don't know what you're going to get in those packs. You can get Bumpkus or you can get less than how much you paid for. And they sit there and look at me and they go, so it's and I was like, yes, it's legit gambling for children. And they go, oh. And I'm like, yeah.
And the other half is because of the art.
Oh yeah, let's be honest here. Most people like the art.
Really like the art.
Oh, by all means. Ember, why are you barking at me? Do you want water? Oh wait, it's 9:10, isn't it? Thank you for letting me know, little baby. I got a jet so that I can go and pick up kitty litter for the cats and all that fun jazz and cat food. Because
Yeah.
I gotta go and do that. All right, thank you all so much for coming out. Ember,
Y'all
are
have
you
a
wanting to say
wonderful rest
goodbye
of your
to?
night.
So Ember wants to say goodbye too. Give her just a second. There she goes. She just told you say good night.
Technically,
Oh,
you
that
can
is
know
true.
what Pokemon you're gonna get depending on where you. Yeah.
Yeah, when it comes to the first ones, but whenever it comes to the trading card game, where you have to buy packs and you don't know what the fuck you're getting, yeah.
Yeah, no, you're not free. You can send. I can send whatever you had prior to over.
Oh, okay. 1 second.
Yeah, because I know they'll actually take it. Because I'm.
Oh, come on.
But I already know. I already know you can just keep going. You're completely free to keep going without a problem. So you're fine.
Alrighty, and there we go. Alrighty. Well,
That is a good post.
Thank you. I will see you all later. Stay safe, stay wonderful, stay classy, and I will see you
And have a
all
calm night.
in the next live stream, whenever that is. Probably next week. Hopefully next week. I probably won't do this one this Saturday because I have